Now, other interesting political news, you have the European Union attempting to change the laws to get the kids off the social media, which is probably a prudent idea because there's no positive outcome to having kids on the social media, yet alone on the internet, yet alone social media. I've yet to hear kind of like a cell phone for a kid, or I should clarify, a smartphone, I guess. There's no legitimate reason for them to have it. The amount of negative downside to that is so large, and the upside is so infinitesimally small. I don't think there's a legitimate reason to ever get a kid a smartphone. But that's just my 3 cents. Now, in terms of the other countries that have similar approaches are actually putting laws in place to try to protect kids, you have China wanting to limit the screen time to 40 minutes to children under the age of 8, which there's zero reason for under age 8. Why do they need that? Not only the cost, but, well, I was going to say the physical cost, but the cost of their brain. Again, we're just now starting to see the long-term effects of kids who are raised on social media because relative to how long we had these, been studying the evolution of kids, interacting with toys, we're only just now starting to see the effects of it, and none of them are good. There's not a lot of upsides to it. So China wants to limit it to 40 minutes under 8, which again, it should be 0. Play with building blocks or Legos or go outside and play with a stick and pretend it's like ridiculous. Now, it looks like the U.S. state of Utah has imposed a digital curfew for minors and parental consent to use social media. You have France, they have targeted manufacturers and saying that they require them to install a parental control system that can be activated when their device is turned on. So some interesting ideas. Now, the European Union has its own plans, and they're taking bold steps in what they're calling the Digital Services Act, the DSA. Acronyms are cool. They make you sound smart. Never forget. FYI, for your information. Now, they're saying they're going to have those out by the end of the month, so, getting closer. And they claim it will be the biggest, it'll force the largest online platforms, being the TikTok, Facebook, the YouTube. They want to open their systems to the scrutiny by the European Commission and prove that they're doing their best to ensure their products are not harming kids. That's a big ask. And I say that because that's worse than asking Coca-Cola what's their secret ingredient. Now, you'll see the ingredients when you go to the store and buy the can of high fructose corn syrup in a can, but that's not telling you the quantity of those ingredients or the other special proprietary things they put in there. If you want to ask a social media company their algorithm, that's their secret sauce. And of course, they target people based on demographics. That's well known. So the only way they could prove they're not targeting kids would be to open that up, but they don't want to have that on the record, and they don't want them to know. And also, it's disadvantageous because they make money targeting kids. So, TikTok especially, the last study I saw, they said that the largest age demographic that use TikTok are 19 years of age and under, I believe. That was 25% of all TikTok users. That's the biggest percentage was that age gap, or age group. Which again, there's no legitimate reason for a kid to be on the TikTok. Especially because the United States, all it does is glorify mental illness and other unhealthy things. Interestingly enough, in other countries like China, it actually teaches their kids that STEM fields are cool. It teaches them to be patriotic. That should scare the crap. That alone should make Americans smart enough to realize this is a tool against us, not for us. But I know people are busy. They don't have the nuance to actually research things, and they just say, "Oh yeah, Timmy, you can download whatever you want." Ridiculous. Now, also interesting, the proposed penalty for the companies who want to have their apps used in the European Union, a hefty fine of 6% of the company's global annual revenue, not profit. That's insanely high. Now, granted, tech companies are usually highly profitable for social media, but going back to the Subway analogy, where Subway is one of the worst franchises right now because the average sales of the store per year is about $500,000. That's revenue. Your cost could be 95% because you have to factor in like Subway, the cost of the sugar to put into the bread because legally it's basically sugar bread. You have all the meats, you have all the lettuce, you have all the fixins. You also have not only just the rent for the actual store, but you also have heating, cooling, electricity, internet. There's a lot of costs that go into that. The revenue is a huge delta from the profit. So depending on what these companies' profit margins are, that could decimate them. So I guarantee, of course, it's going to play out in the court system for quite some time because these companies are not going to take this lying down. They're going to fight this tooth and nail because this can be detrimental to their business. the European Union is also it's a very large market. So there is a legitimate reason for them to want every intention to have their product over there. Now, let me know in the comments, do you think they'll acquiesce and actually they'll give in to these demands? Or more likely, do you think, well, maybe they just have their have the people use VPN, maybe just secret backway tunneling apps, or they'll just get tied up in the court system, grease some hands or something like that. It'll be interesting to see what the tech companies do, but we shall see. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Trying to get again to 3,000 subscribers by the end of August, so you can click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to take the time to like and comment. Those things also really help with the algorithm to get the video shared. I also appreciate your feedback. It helps to make the channel better and better. Helps improve the technologies, whether I'm putting the prompters on my monitors in front so I could keep eye contact a little bit better, or it's whether me being a little bit more bombastic with my hand gestures and my voice, and even working to try to slow down my voice, which again is something I'm always trying to work on more and more. All the feedback is greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone to stay safe and fight the good fight.